So I'm Mildred Pitt. I'm one of the Bran Flakes and make music. And I've been doing it for how long?
I've been doing it for since the mid-90s.
10 years. 10
All
years.
of that.
Yeah, over 10 years I've been in the Bran Flakes. So, and I've been doing it with Otis.
Since '98. I'm Otis' father. I also make music. We're kind of the core, I guess, music people. So, but it's a whole production. Like we couldn't do a live show without everybody. So, and the whole band's from Seattle. I'm from Montreal now, but I'm from Seattle. So it's next.
I'll go.
Hey.
I'm the International House of Pancakes. I'm one of the backup dancers, and I also do all the costumes for the group and help out with any other visual things, crafts, props, backdrops, that sort of thing.
Is there like pancakes, like International House of Pancakes? How did this start? Did you go to like an IHOP?
I like pancakes.
I like
pancakes.
Is there anybody in the band who doesn't like pancakes?
No.
No, I don't.
I can't think of anybody who doesn't like pancakes.
No, or waffles.
I don't like waffles.
I guess it depends on their process too, because we don't want to get frozen
Pancakes in a
pancakes.
different format.
But you don't want frozen pancakes.
I eat those like every weekend.
Oh my god, really? You don't microwave them, do you? You don't eat
Yeah.
McDonald's pancakes.
No.
Okay.
It's
There's
like
a
I
limit.
don't cook and I mess them up anytime I've tried to make them. I've ruined them.
There's a limit. We don't want to say McDonald's. You could like bleep that out with the advertising thing, you know? I don't know.
Maybe Courtney should introduce himself.
I think so, yeah. Otherwise, we're talking about pancakes.
I'm Susan DeLint. I've been with the Bran Flakes for quite a while. I've done stage stuff, kind of do prop making, stage design, some on stage dancing, stuff like that.
Pinatas and confetti cannons.
Yeah.
Made confetti cannons, but used to make pinatas until we deemed that unsafe.
You're like the PVC pipe guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and chicken wire.
Yeah, so just kind of like any other random ideas. We did a mustache on the reference one time. That was a lot of fun.
We'll dump in your words later.
Yeah. And you can do like a stand, like a.
We need to edit that.
Oh, really?
Anytime coffee gets ordered.
So I'm the family Jules, and I'm also known as the Dancing Taco.
Oh, cool.
And I do all of the hotel and travel arrangements. and I'm a dancer and a prop maker.
I'm Bob Awkward. And I'm awkward. I guess I'm the sort of the live. I play instruments live with the band, so I play all spice. I add spice and depth to the sound a little bit. I guess I play like bass and shakers and various noisemakers and other things, and I dance around just with the dancers, but mostly I'm like the live musician when we play live shows, and I help make some of the props as well.
You play the bell.
I play the bell
And the trumpet.
and the trumpet as well. So I have.
He has a whole song.
I have.
We have a ring the bell song, because a lot of songs do have audience interaction, participation.
And I try and rile the audience up with
Yeah.
the sound makers that I play.
Like a hype man.
I'm the hype man.
Well, you know, 10 years ago, we were two guys lugging our computers on stage, our big computers with you know,
That's right, with the big CRT.
the towers and the monitors and no laptops, because we were really broke at that time. So, well, this was late 90s, really. And then we went laptops. We had these drunk, you know. And then it was two guys with laptops who would be like, all right, watch me click my mouse. And it's the most boring thing on the planet, unless you're watching maybe, you know, some very versatile, something with video. But mostly it's pretty boring for laptops, so we decided to expand it like 10 years ago, 2001.
And that's how we added.
Next.
I'm Jo Freedom, and I'm also a backup dancer and featured dancer, and help make the design and make the props and brainstorm for some different live stage show antics.
Otis started the band back in, or it was a band.
92, but it wasn't a band. It was,
Just
fooling
him.
around on a 4-track in your bedroom doing cassette stuff. But that went until 98, and then I moved to Seattle in 97. We met in 98. And then at that point, we put together our first official kind of CD release. Before that, it was like CDRs and cassettes, and nothing very prominent, and I didn't have a direction. Didn't play shows or anything of that nature. And then we got together and we started to do shows, but after a couple of years of doing laptop shows, we got bored with it. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, this is boring to watch. What came out of speakers is interesting, but you could listen to that at home, sort of. So we wanted to take it further, and it started with our friends. The people we knew.
Yeah, just close friends.
Actually, Courtney is probably, you were the first person. There were a couple other people too, our friends who are no longer, they're on doing other projects. Still friends, but this guy Floyd and Gianni, and we had a comedian for a while, Gianni, Psycho. And Floyd was our first dancer, the gorilla.
But we didn't even ask him to dance. One time we played a show and this
We
gorilla
did.
came up. He started dancing in front of us. We're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
He danced for an hour and a half straight.
It seems like it used to be a lot more informal. Like you just sort of,
people
you'd
come
have
up.
the show lined up, and then you'd have, you guys would figure out the music aspect of it, and then you would just say, hey, you want to wear a gorilla suit? Hey, you want to be a hippo or a
Dancing chicken.
It was very informal.
And now, since you and I have met, really, right? 3 years ago.
We did have a good in like the CD release parties from in 2001 and 2002 for Bounces, and I don't have a friend that was very choreographed as well.
Oh, okay.
That's when we had the pin the mustache on Burt Reynolds. We had Dancing Chicken, Pinatas. Pinata was 2001.
We stopped that
at the
because
other friend.
somebody got hurt.
Yeah, because you're in a crowded bar, somebody's having a big stick, and you're hitting a pinata, and the whole crowd just kind of goes out because the thing's filled with candy and everybody's drunk, and it's the last band on.
I think somebody got hit with the stick, and we were like, let's
Yeah,
never do
so
that again.
not in a bar setting, and if we did, there would have to be security guards around holding the person because they're blindfolded,
Oh, right.
and they have a stick
And
and they're
they're drunk.
blindfolded and they're drunk.
Well, even
So.
for kids, a pinata is a
Yeah.
terrible idea.
But really, what Julie was
But
saying
kids aren't
is
drinking.
correct because we had a set list and we had everything dialed out what we were going to do, but it wasn't as put together as it is now. Now it's very, it's very regimented, and we have like, okay, we're doing this, 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 and this, and it's practiced and rehearsed. Whereas before,
We never
it
had
really,
rehearsals.
No, we didn't have rehearsals for it. We had everybody get together and
Just
say,
show up in your chicken
okay, show up
costume."
in the chicken costume. You're going to walk around, lay eggs on people, and when they open them up, they're going to have garlic or a free CD coupon. So, or something like that. But it wouldn't. So it would really be flying by the seat of our pants. But now, yeah, you're right. It's much more choreographed now, and everything is very. But we have a really set cast here. I mean, we couldn't do this ourselves. And like Andy and I make the core music. I mean, Mildred and I make the core music. Edit that out. Real names, pseudonyms. Okay, my name's Otis, but I'm really Larry. That's it.
Edit that out.
Well, edit that out. Yeah, it's no big secret. But I mean, it's fun. I don't even know where I was going.
But now that the ideas come up, anybody can. We'll all brainstorm ideas.
Yeah.
Somebody will come up with a single idea. We were like, we're going to need to take a break in the middle of the show. It's a long show. We're playing tomorrow, so we were let's have a coffee break in the middle of the show. So then we made an animation for a coffee. It's like it's not really just a coffee break. We made an animation for a coffee break. Larry made a song for coffee break.
Yeah.
Everybody made cardboard gigantic coffee cups, and then it became a dance. It's like we were gonna.
It's no longer a break.
It's not a break. It's like
Break.
actually.
It's the hardest part of the show.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest parts of the show. And we're like, well, that's not really going to be a break.
I think the most important thing is being together with people where you don't have egos, where it's not a competition per se, and if it is, it's a friendly thing. Like, I love what you did as a prop. Like, I know there's this friendly thing, like he'll play a song for me that he created and I'll be inspired to make a song, but it's not, say, in a competition format. It's more like, wow, he did this, I gotta make a song this good too, because I want our next release to be good, sort of in the music. So it's sort of that bouncing off each other when we make our songs and then working together on songs. And because it's not all samples either. There's live instrumentation thrown in as well. But so really it's being in a group where everybody's kind of open to ideas and being
Yeah,
like,
that's what
okay.
kind of segues into my next question about.
It is really a community. Yeah. We don't, I mean, for the CD releases, we do most of the core music ourselves, but for live performances, the website, the social presence online, we like to build it as a community. If somebody came to us and they had an exciting idea for a video or something they want to be a part of, we've said in the past, oh my gosh, do it. We'd love to credit you and put you on a website and have you a part of kind of the Bran Flakes. Maybe you're not on the CD releases, but you're actually really a part of the band because you contributed.
Like 5450 is a really cool video.
Yeah, and actually he did the animation for that. Mildred did, and it's but Mildred has been doing the videos, some of our videos since we started in '99. Some of the first ones is Meadow and Riddle, and the Riddle Meadow and Love video and things of that nature. So.
And Susan does quite a few videos as well.
Did another one, Do You Want Salad with My Taco?
Oh, right, yeah.
So, that was Susan.
Oh, so you all have like an arts background in addition to...
Sort of. I don't do any video or anything visual. I could draw stick figures. I just played hangman on paper. That's kind of the best thing I could do. So, but yeah, everybody...
Well, one thing that
what they do.
Andy and I always talk about is how it's neat that we can, as the Bran Flakes, we can capitalize on everybody's individual expertise.
Totally.
Like, Joanna's this amazing theater, singer, dancer, choreographer person.
Yeah.
And then Peter's this great musician. And Courtney is also a great musician, but he's also a graphic designer. So is Andy. And then Pam makes these amazing costumes. And I'm a painter and an installation artist. And so we all just kind of compile all of our skills.
What we're good at and come together. So if we met somebody where we were lacking in a skill and they wanted to do something, we'd be like, and we got along and they were down to earth and kick back. And committed.
You need an
if there's an architect out there who wants to join the Bran Flakes and be solid and come to practices.
A burrito chef.
We'll do the dishes.
So my next question is where do you get your music samples? Because I've heard some of your songs and I'm like, where did they get that? It sounds so
Dollar
obscure.
records, thrift stores.
Most everything is thrift stores.
Really?
Yeah, digging. Just going out and digging.
There's this one story I got to tell you because it's like we always have to tell the story.
We bought it.
So we went when we first started, Otis and I were shopping for records together a lot when he lived in Seattle. And we went into a thrift store and they had just probably like 1,000 or 2,000 records.
So, when we brought them back to my house.
So anyway, we looked at them.
It was about $2,000.
These are all great. So we offered the
And
owner of the store, I think $100 for every
$100.
record. And we took every single one of them.
Yeah, we had to do your hatchback like 2 or 3 trips in your hatchback and the whole thing. But I just remember in the apartment, I was living in a basement apartment, there were stacks of records like this high and we made columns, so you'd walk down these columns around these stacks. And you're not supposed to stack your records like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you've seen movies like High Fidelity and that famous don't stack your records this way. But they're thrift store records, so you got to search through 100 Barbara Streisand records just to get one maybe Lawrence Welk record with a break, because they have breaks. There's drum breaks on everything. Like any seasoned sampling artist will tell you that you can find breaks on everything. You're not going to keep the record after usually, but you might find just one little sample on it or something. And that's the thrill of it, I think, rather than because now with the digital age, everything is so accessible where you could get anything you want with a click. But there's something about stumbling upon something because you have to limit your information because there's too much information coming in. So I still love going out and looking at a thrift store and coming home with a record that I don't know what the hell it is.
But that must be really labor intensive to go through all of those.
Yeah. It is. Actually,
just
sampling
find
takes
one
longer than
thing.
making songs. Oh, totally. Just because you gather so many samples, you don't know if you're going to use them.
Yeah.
It's just your palette of sounds that you're going to go with, and then you create, and you may not use 75% of stuff.
You know my favorite sample? This is one that says about poison must be stored in a very safe place.
That's from a Hanna-Barbera safety rules record from the 60s. It's Hanna-Barbera records, and it's safety tips, and it's with Fred Flintstone. So it's the Flintstones doing safety tips for,
That's a dark song.
Special
and it's a
effects.
dark song. Yeah. And then I think the thing singing is like a little frog from a children's television show in Canada. So
If you want to do.
yeah, if you want to do a thing real badly, and no, that's actually from a Wonderland record. So I got into the habit of actually marking down the samples now. So when I do a sequence on the computer, I did it finally because then I could go back and find what the original source was. Not that it's like
If somebody sued me, I'd be like, I didn't know I used it. I don't know.
Well, I do it so I could go back to it later, but it's it's an easy way to find things. So
No, have you?
and our music isn't. It is, but it isn't commercially viable. I would say it doesn't really fit into the like I usually say, like, some kid coming to our concert is going to be like, yeah, I just got back from the Lil Wayne concert, now I'm coming to the Bran Flakes. It's usually not going to happen like that. But I mean, we do have a cross, but it's because we're an indie band. But it's strange because there's artists like Girl Talk that's on our label who hasn't got slapped yet. So
Yeah. And he's bringing in real cash. So
yeah, so you know what? I mean,
he really is. He's like filling up, stadiums with 4,000 people every night, and it's like, I'm just kind of surprised that people don't go after him. But
well, look at it.
if they go after us, it's like, what are they going to get?
And look at apply with a cease and desist,
Couple hundred Lawrence Wall
and
records.
yeah, I mean, let them
Okay,
destroy
wow.
the copies, whatever, and because the damages alone wouldn't be
They wouldn't be worth it to sue
wouldn't
us.
be worth it, no, because we're so small time, so
Yeah, if you're not making money off of it, there's really no threat.
Right.
They
Yeah.
can't sue you for anything if
Yeah,
you
right,
haven't made
yeah.
money off of it.
Right.
Or, well, I don't
Yeah.
know, this is my assumption.
well, it's still it's a sticky subject, and it always depends too on the time and the place. Like over the past decade or so, they've been more concentrated on people downloading MP3s rather than people
Yeah.
sampling from records. Whereas in the '90s, it was lots of lawsuits. So
Yeah.
everything from the classic Bismarcky lawsuit
Yeah.
in the early '90s all the way over to the more experimental Negative Land things and other things. So it's really we don't really think about it. I think it limits you if you're sampling, if you think about it, because we don't have a drive to hit that next level either. And
I do.
and clear up the samples. Well, we'll have to talk about this
Speak for
later.
yourself.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
I don't like to limit myself on the samples.
I'd like to
You're
talk
working on
about the interactive part of your show.
Well, I think that we just kind of we kind of trust the music, like the way the music is, the way that the show begins. It kind of just gets people into this mode where they just feel really uninhibited and just like everybody's going to be dancing. And if you look over here, there's going to be someone handing out some little trinket or other, and over here there's going to be some kind of like choreographed thing going on, and there's a prop in the back, and there's a video, and so it kind of takes people out of themselves, and we kind of like when the show gets started off that way, we kind of just grab that and carry it through the whole show, and we kind of have designed the show to have some like peaks and valleys, so people have rests where they can kind of like just watch a video, and then we come back out and like pump up the energy again with a dance number and get people to try and do some interactive stuff like exercising with us, or doing we'll do some like really repetitive dances to try and get some of the people, and hopefully some of the kids. We have mostly play in bars, so that'll be really fun to see if they really get into it and copy us and do some of the really repetitive dance moves that we have kind of designed for everybody to do. And so I mean, we've got the peaks and valleys so that it flows, and people they get really into it, then they get a little rest. And
Yeah, I have a question, maybe like a teaser for tomorrow, because you mentioned the puppet show, and I've been blabbing all to you about they're gonna have a puppet show on top of everything. So can you give like a little teaser or a hint about what the puppet show might be like, without giving too much away?
On a stick.
I think that's how it started.
I think it actually started because we, International House of pancakes.
I always say the funniest thing in the world is a paw on a stick. Like, I don't know if you know a paw on a stick. Like a
Like a
fake
cat
animal
paw.
paw. Like, you know, I think there used to be a commercial for something where you saw like a cat's paw reaching up to turn off a light switch. Or anytime there's like
It's just a
fake
paw on a stick.
animal paws like on a steering wheel pretending to drive. That's the funniest thing in the entire world.
Cute, yeah.
So somehow
I agree. We were like, oh, we
I
gotta
don't know,
make.
we came up with an idea, something about cats, and I'm like, oh, we gotta have a paw on a stick, and then one paw on a stick turned into 5 paws on a stick.
And the cat body.
And the cat body.
You know, I mean,
and
there's more
And then we
to
need to
it.
make a stage for it, and then we're like,
So we made
so-
these 4 different, Susan designed 4 different banners, and we actually have we have them rigged up so they flip, so the puppet stage changes throughout the show, we hope.
Unless there's a windstorm.
Yeah.
Well, that
And
sounds
then
like
it'll
fun.
be a big sale.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to ask a wrap-up question. So where do you see Bran Flakes heading or evolving?
More European festivals.
More festivals.
More festivals.
Another release.
Oh, we have another release we're working on.
Yeah. For next year, same label, Illegal Art.
Guys, let's hold for that.
What's that?
Let's hold for that. Gotcha.
You just dub it in later. I just like that idea.
We're good now. It only
You can
happens.
dub it in with just use your voice.
I'll be like, this is
We're done. Finished. This is the end. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're working on another release now.
We like to play big shows. We like to play festivals and all.
It's a lot of planning to go into the shows.
Yeah, but we usually do only a couple shows a year because it's just they're such big productions. And Otis lives in Montreal and I live in Seattle, and it's just we always build props, so we're gonna keep on doing it like this.